A very good morning to all my dear friends. I hope you all are feeling fantastic this morning. Are you familiar with J.K. Rowling? If not, then let me tell you, she wrote Harry Potter. She has lived a very inspiring life. Never give up, keep on knocking the door. These are the words that comes to my mind when I hear or think of her. And I have got a positive statement from her for you guys. If you want to see the true measure of a man, watch how he treats his inferiors and not his equals. With this, dear friends, we have many important articles. This one is about transmission troubles. Customers of Indian banks continue to foot the bill for banking system inefficiency. This one is about trauma at the border. I have got a picture for you, and I will give you gist of this article. Right, this one is a political one. You can help yourself with it. This one is about defining death. Right, earlier on, you know how we doctors used to measure whether someone is alive or dead. They used to check the pulses, and they used to, see whether a person is breathing or not, and things like that, heartbeat and other things. And now we have got latest gadgets. So we need, basically, this one is talking about that India needs clear standard operating procedures as well as legal definition of death. And then we have this 3 articles. We have in total 4 articles that we are going to analyze in detail. This one, right? Then you have this, neither new nor undesirable. It's about lateral entry, right? The subline, what it says is that making a fetish of lateral entry of domain experts into government service will have grave consequences. It is basically going against this idea of lateral entry. I have a counter view for this thing. We will analyze. I will provide you this counter view, positive points of lateral entry. And then you have this seeds of sustainability. It is talking about how zero budget natural farming could be the model for the future. And this one is about beating the plastic pollution. We have talked about plastic many a times, but this article is interesting. It is talking about that the focus must be on waste management and recycling. So let's move on, dear friends. StudyIQ provides pen drive and tablet courses for various different exams. To find out more about it, check out StudyIQ.com. Now, the thing is that, dear friends, I have observed this thing that many people are writing to me, asking me and inquiring about pen drive and tablet courses. See, let me tell you, these are the numbers here, right? And this is our website. If you go to our website, you will find chat box as well. Drop your name and number and someone will get back to you. Just in case, if you're finding any trouble, right? If you are not getting any solution or something, then do let me know, right? Then you can connect me. But if you're asking me, inquiring me for what is the price and what things are included and things like that, then of course you being very polite here, and I hope you will forgive me that I need to focus on lectures, and I have many students, means I solve their doubts and other things. So this sort of things, we have a dedicated team, right? They are the best people to do the job, to do this job of explaining you what's in it. So please, do contact my associates on this number. And with this, dear friends, a test series is available. Do spread the word about it as well, right? Find out more on testseries.studyiq.com. At present, you get a discount. After that, you have to pay 7,500. Register now. And with this, dear friends, you can download the PDF of today's discussion from my Twitter handle or Facebook page. You can get in touch with me as well. And do spread the word. Do share this lecture, PDF, as well as video. Right, you guys are brand ambassador. I want you guys to do this job for me. I want you, every one of you, to share this lecture, right? Share and get in touch with other people. Do tell them about what we share here, what we discuss here, the quality of things, right? The additional information and all these things, right? It's very important that you do this thing for me. Thank you very much. And don't forget to hit the like button. Now, the first one is about transmission troubles. It is about this MCLR. Now, what is MCLR? MCLR stands for, let me write it down for you just in case if you don't know. It's marginal cost of funds. The marginal cost of funds based on lending rate. Right, this is what MCLR is all about. Now, I'm sure many of you would be thinking what this MCLR is all about. We don't know anything about it. Now, pay attention to this thing. It's about monetary transmission. Now, let me make it easy for you guys forever, right? Monetary, or the word money, right, comes from this moneta or something, right? It's Latin or Greek, I'm not sure, but monetary is associated with money. Simple as that, right? It's about cash. It's about not just cash, but it's about money, right? So just imagine a note, a legal tender in your mind when you hear this monetary transmission. Now, what monetary transmission is all about? See, very quickly, you have this RBI, right? That is our central bank. And then you have different banks like SBI, you have Bank of Baroda and other banks, etc., right? So you have other banks. And then you have this consumers. Or let's say here it's you and I, right? People of our country. Now, it's when I say people, I'm not just talking about individuals. You can also take firms in it. You can also take business and other items in it. So monetary transmission, right? Money is just like blood, right? The role of blood in our body, the same way money works in an economy. So it's very important. So we're talking about this blood. So smooth flow of blood and smooth flow of money is very important. Now, you know that RBI gives money, or SBI borrows money from RBI, then it has to pay interest rate. It's not a free loan or the money they get. So they have to pay something. SBI has to pay a certain amount of interest, right, on the money that it has borrowed from RBI. And so it will charge on people seeking loan from SBI, right? This is how it works. So I hope this thing is clear. This is a ladder. This is a chain, how the money flows from one place to another. Now, the thing is, dear friends, just in case, if there is you can say too much money in the market, right? If you have, again, I'll give you this example. If you have 50,000 rupees in your pocket, and if you have to travel from Bombay to Delhi, of course, you will catch a flight, isn't it? Because you know that you have got 50,000 rupees. But imagine that you have 500 rupees only. Then you will find a train or maybe bus. There's just a rough example. I know it costs more than that. Not too sure. Anyways, so the difference here is that here, because you have 500 and you have to travel this big distance, so you'll be very careful. You have limited money. The supply of money is down, or it's low, so the value of money is bit high in this case. But when it comes to this case, the supply of money is high, so the value of money goes down. So same thing happens, and this is how inflation works. So MCLR is the new benchmark lending rate at which banks will now lend to new borrowers. I hope things are it's making sense now, right? It is a sort of rate, lending rate, or you can say a rate of loan, say for example, right? Banks will, new borrowers will be charged, or this MCLR will be taken on board whilst deciding their interest. Earlier on, we used to have this base rate, but now after 31st March 2016, RBI said that every bank by 2017, they have to follow this MCLR method. Now, I have got some extra items for you. This will help you with your understanding. It has got 4 components, right? Marginal cost of funds, negative carry on account of cash reserve ratio, operating costs, and tenor premium. It may be sounding a bit difficult, but it's very easy. Let me tell you, right? You want to make, say for example, a wristwatch. Then all this different cost, right? Salary and rent and everything. You will calculate everything, and then you will all in one piece of wristwatch. Everything will be included, isn't it? You will calculate your electric charges and everything. In the same way, MCLR includes all these 4 items, right? Earlier on, this base rate was not taking all these things, but now it will take all these things, so that based on this thing, right, this MCLR rate can go up and down based on other items like how risky it is to give you money. It's not just about the whole market. It's about individual as well. If your profile is a bit risky, then MCLR can, or the other items can, this tenor premium and other things can go up. So RBI, as I told you, have asked these banks to follow this MCLR by March 2017, and it has also asked bank to set at least 5 MCLR rates overnight, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. The maximum 1 year one, you have to set one. That means you will be told when you go to a bank, you will be told, if you want to get a loan from a bank, you will be told that this is MCLR and how much you will be charged for this year, right? It can go maximum up, it can go and maximum down, it can come. Everything will be told to you. So I have one example for you here. See, MCLR is 9.20, right? And spread on it is 25 basis point. So your home loan will cost you 9.45% till 1 year. Next year the bank can revise it and the MCLR can come down. So here it was 9.20, so it became here 9.15, and this 25 is as it is. So you will be paying 9.40. 0.5 basis point or 5 basis point is it may sound not that big, but for small loans it is a big thing. So this is how it works. Now, why the MCLR reform, or why this RBI is pushing for this MCLR? The thing is that see, banks, right, they are not that happy when it comes to pass this cut down in interest rate. Again, let me explain you. Say for example, if RBI is giving money to SBI at the rate of 5%, right? 5%. If you borrow 100 rupees, then you have to pay 5%. That is 5 rupees is your interest that you have to pay. SBI has to pay to RBI. Now, of course, RBI wants to make money. It has to, get money or make profit to make sure that it pays to its employers and employees, and branches are working fine, everything, so it has to make a bit of profit. So here it gets money at the rate of 5%. It will charge 7%, imaginary 7%. So this 2%, this difference is its profit. Within this 2%, you have all the things, salary and light bills and telephone and everything. So now imagine, right, this 5% is made for by RBI, right? So they have to adjust this thing. They have to make it 6, right? Ideally they should make it 6, but this is something that is not visible in the market at present, and this is a matter of concern. And why it is not doing this thing? Because there are multiple pressure, right? They have to cover this non-performing asset, the money that they have lost, and this is the reason why this particular tagline of this article is saying that the bill has to be paid by or common citizens, right, or consumers of the bank. They are the ones who are paying the bill, because the banks are not reducing this interest rate, and because of this they have to pay. You and I, when we go to a bank to borrow money, then we have to pay extra interest rate. When I say extra, I mean to say we have to pay higher interest rate because of this Vijay Mallya, and you have Nirav Modi. It's not just these two boys. There are other people as well, other businesses as well, willful defaulters and all these things. Because of this non-performing assets, as I told you, they have to maintain their profit. So they will try to make more money from people like you and I. So this is one of the reasons why MCLR is pushed, to show that a more proper rate, when at the top level is giving at 4%, the bottom should reduce 1% rather than keeping it as it is, right? So I hope things are clear to you now. And this one is about this American, or you can say this immigration issue, right? USA, or Mr. Trump has took a very harsh decision. This is very cruel. The thing is, what they are doing over there is they are separating families. What they are doing is that the parents who arrived in USA without any documents, or you can say illegal immigrants, if they find any illegal immigrants, then they will go through various processes. So what they are doing now is that they are taking away, or rather than taking away, they are snatching away. The administration is snatching away their kids. And the kids, it's not that it's only like teenagers are snatched away. Even small toddlers, right? They are taken over by administration. And of course, you can imagine the psychological trauma, both on parents and kids. So this is definitely a cruel policy. This is not acceptable at all. I'll give you a couple of points and then we will wrap up this USA editorial. What about natural resources? Do we ever ask this question, that why there are so many countries out there, people from so many countries, and there are so many countries out there, right? They have natural resources. They have everything. Like, say for example, Africa, right? Africa is very rich as far as natural resources are concerned, but because human capital is not that developed, because you still, even today, education, you can say health, and skills. These are the three things that people of Africa, not all, of course, not all, right? They are very talented people. I have many friends from Africa, and I know that they are very, very talented people. But overall population, just like our country, right? They are lacking these three basic things. So even they are sitting on a gold, they are not able to make the most of this gold. Same thing happens with other countries like Mexico, or you can say the South American countries and other countries. Now, if we go back to the history of this developed world, or this West world that we call, right, particularly USA, UK and other countries, they don't allow people to come or step in their country that easily. As far as it means, if you are a tourist or if you are investing money, then you will be warmly welcome. But if you are trying to find a work or job over there, then they make it as difficult as possible. Now, one thing that we have to ask is that how they got developed, right? Their initial you can say this burst or this thrust that they got was from all these countries like Africa and other countries. They used to colonize other countries, and they took all these natural resources and so many other things, cheap labor or slaves and other things, and then they have developed the base, right? So people from different parts of the world, they have contributed in the development of this sort of countries. Now, I'm not saying that they should open their borders. This is not how it works. It's not practical. But at least mercy should be practiced, right? Compassion, because the people are coming over there, living everything, their social life and everything. When they are reaching there, at least they should be treated fairly. They should be treated like human beings, right? Even though they are illegal, they are human beings. So this is something that is very important. Same thing applies with India as well when it comes to Rohingyas or other people who are seeking refuge over here. Coming on or moving on to another item, this is about neither new nor undesirable. It is about this lateral entry thing. Now, which department decides this thing? It decides this. It is done by this Department of Personnel and Training. Not personal, but personnel. Personnel basically means this human resources and training. So lateral entry into government, recently this was out there in the news. We have got a special video lecture. My colleague Dr. Maipal Singh Rathore brought out a lecture in both Hindi and English. It is available now. Please, dear friends, don't ask me to share this link, right? This is too much of spoon feeding. All you have to do is go to playlist, right? Over there you will find the IAS UPSC burning issue, right? Burning issue playlist, and in this playlist you will find all my videos as well as videos of most of the videos of Maipal Singh Rathore as well. So help yourself with it, right? Please don't ask me to share links. It is a job that you have to do. Anyways, so this article is not happy with this lateral entry. What it is saying is that there is no, you can say, fixed goal, right? There is no, you can say, objective of the government as far as this lateral entry is concerned, and because we don't have any target to hit, right, we will not hit anything. That's what this line is trying to say. The other point that this article is arguing is that the lateral entry decision is based on the assumption that when it comes to civil servants, particularly IAS, you know it very well that when it comes to IFS, that is Indian Foreign Service, IPS, that is Indian Police Service, or you can take Indian Forest Service as well, right? All these services are, they are not general services. They are, you can say, specific, or you can say special services. Once you join IPS, you will be IPS, or you will be doing policing job. You will be in different departments, but you will be wearing this uniform, or you can say you will be doing this policing job only. But when you join IAS, there is no guarantee that you will work only in home ministry or you will work in agriculture ministry. You could be anywhere, right? They can place you anywhere there. Like so, the right term for IAS that is used is called generalist, right? Not journalist, generalist. That means jack of all and master of none. Jack of all. That means you can put an IAS anywhere in any department, and he or she will sort it out. This is one of the reasons why this UPSC exam is designed the way it is. But it's not perfect, right? It's not perfect. There are many areas where you need specialists, right? There are many areas where you need specialists. Even today, like say for example, if you are a doctor, it's not necessary that if you are a doctor and if you become IAS, then you will be given Ministry of Health. If you have management skills and other things, it's not that you will be given Commerce Ministry, right? So this is something that we need to fix. Now this line is complaining, or it's against this thing that it is saying that the government has decided lateral entry because it assumes that generalists are not the people. They are not having domain expertise and they are not capable enough. No, that is not the case, right? I have a counter view of this thing. This is my counter view. The thing is, right, it will create pool of talented individuals. When you are working in a private environment, when you are working in a private company, the way you work is totally different. I'm using the word totally, right? It is totally different how you work in public company or in public services. So of course, in private service, you have to fulfill your responsibility. There will be hierarchy. People will be checking you. You will be having supervisor or your boss, or you could be a boss, right, of your own department. The way you report, the way you take decision, everything is different. Your whole training, your whole mindset is different when it comes to private services. Here you have security of tenure. You know that you will not be kicked out of job. So this is the biggest problem, right? There are a few people who are talking about lateral entry. There are a few people who are talking about this thing that it is not good. What about this IAS? What about this UPSC aspirants? You prepare for UPSC and then you find out someone else. It's a joint secretary job. It's not that you are not going to get any promotion. It's a person. If there is a best fit out there, if someone can do this job better than you, then you should be happy about this thing, because at the end of the day, when we are preparing for civil services, we talked about loving our country. Now, if someone can do a job better than you, then for the sake of the nation, it is your responsibility to keep that position vacant for that particular person. The other thing that I would like to add here is that once a person from private sector comes in, he or she can work as a change manager, right? They will bring with them new ideas, new way of working, and both public servant as well as this contract joint secretary, they can learn from each other. Then once they leave this job, once their contract is over, we at least have few people in the market who have this experience of working at a higher position, and in case if we need them in future, that we have this talent pool available for us to exploit. The other thing I would like to add here, which is not discussed that much, what about non-performing IAS or non-performing civil servants? Lateral entry, people are opposing it, but what about people who are not performing at all? Don't you think we need to get rid of them if we want to change the way things are going on in our country, right? And IAS and IPS and foreign service officers and other officers, right? They are powerful enough. They are at a leadership position in different departments and organizations. So if they're not performing, it's better to get rid of them. Once we do this thing, right, the day when we will have this hire, and if you are not working, then fire sort of strategy or work structure, they will, right, the decision making will be altogether different. These are some of the things that you can add from human resources point of view. Of course, there are practical challenges. I do appreciate, right, they do work in very tough condition. Many times they have to explain things. Many times there is a blame game thing going on. There are this mix, right, positive and negative things. Anyways, let's move on. This is about beating plastic pollution. Now, of course, you know very well how plastic is bad, because we have been talking about it. I think we have talked about it 15 within this fortnight we have talked about it, I'm sure. Can't remember the exact date, but I do remember I provided you a picture from Times of India 2, the interview of a person who is working at a international level, and she told about where we stand as far as this plastic pollution is concerned. We are still not sure how much it is damaging us, because no one has lived that long to know. Means the day when plastic was invented till now, no one has lived that long, so we don't know exactly how the world has changed. But it is changing, and it is not changing for good, it is changing for bad. Plastic is no doubt a very you can say polluting item. If you burn it, it will destroy your air. If you bury it, it will destroy your soil. If you just leave it as it is, then it will block your pipes and it will create floods and other things. So it is dangerous. It is very dangerous. So what we need now is we need to reduce the production, and we need to get rid of this as much as possible, gradually or radically. It depends, right? We need to get rid of this single-use plastics, the bags that we use and then we chuck away. We need to get rid of it. And as a youngsters, right, we can start this thing. If you are going out to buy vegetables or flour or anything, use that cotton bag, or this bag made out of old clothes. This was a very sustainable thing. I still remember when I was young, and I'm sure many of you do remember this thing, that when we were children at that point of time, right, plastic was not that much available. We used to, when you go with your parents for shopping or something, then we used to carry this bags. Then later on, this bags came in, this plastic bags, and now people have literally, right, we have forgot our habit of carrying our own bag. Now you have this person here. He's the one who invented plastic in New York in 1907. His name is Leo Baekeland. And then you have chemist, and you have other physicians, right? Physics, a person, a father of polymer physics, not physician, father of polymer physics. His name is Hermann Mark, and then you have Hermann Studinger. These are the two people who contributed in this plastic world. But of course, they created this thing not to destroy the world. They created it to give something that will be, it is very important as well. We use plastic in very different things. But these bottles and these bags and other things are something that we can literally drop. We need to do more and more recycling, no doubt. And now you have very important figures here. I want you guys to store and save these figures, refer to it. In your mains examination, these are the figures that will help you a lot. Right? So it's very easy to understand. 50% of plastic that we use is single use or use and throw type of one. The 9.1 billion ton plastic so far we have produced. You see here that in 2015, scientists said that nearly 7 billion ton of plastic waste is generated. Only 9% was recycled, 12% incinerated, and 79% is out there everywhere. The sad thing is that in India as well, we have this plastic pollution is a big problem for us, right? We need to get rid of it. We see this sort of things as well, that Ganga contributes. If you see 20 rivers, most polluting rivers of Asia that carry 2/3 of plastic waste in ocean, we find Ganga is one of the highest. So this is not acceptable. Sad news, even in Arctic portion, microplastics are trapped in ice. A whale shark, a dead shark was found, and plastic spoon was found from her tummy. You find it is destroying 13 billion. It is costing us $13 billion per year when it comes to marine ecosystem. So plastic is dangerous. What we can do is we need to change our behavior, right? We need to change the way we are looking at things. The way things are going on, it is not sustainable. For that, we would need scientific and financial support, no doubt. Swachh Bharat mission is going on, and we all can contribute. We can spread the word. We can do these small changes through which we can get rid of plastic, and gradually we can change people around us only once we change ourselves. The seeds of sustainability. This one is about zero budget natural farming. It's about not using chemical. It's about, you can say, chemical free method. In Andhra Pradesh, by 2024, all the farmers of Andhra Pradesh will be under the zero budget natural farming method. Andhra Pradesh has become the first state as well to implement this ZBNF. Now, the thing is, dear friends, 4 things that we can directly get from this ZBFM is that welfare of farmers. They don't have to spend a huge amount of money. They don't have to borrow money and things like that. Their input cost will come down. Food will become less toxic, or no toxic will be found in food gradually, and it will be healthy for soil and for our environment. So these are the 4 benefits of this, going this chemical free as far as this agriculture is concerned. We have Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana and Paramparagat Krishi Vikas. Paramparagat means traditional way of farming, and the government is supporting it. And the good thing, or the strength, I still remember when this scheme was launched, I discussed this thing in PIB analysis. Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, when it was launched, the minister said that India has its strength because traditionally we have always been practicing this chemical free farming, so it's not going to be that difficult for us, and this is a good strength of us. And we need to make sure that we pass this culture of non-chemical farming to our future generation as well. Sikkim was declared the first state in our country that was fully organic. But one thing that we have to keep in mind, that because the market is not that big, when I say market, I mean to say this natural resources or these products that you use, vermicompost and manure and other items, right, cow dung and other things, are not available in the market as much as we need them. So we need to look after our cattle on street and everything. You know, if we create a proper sustainable business out of it, when I say business, don't take it negatively, I'm talking about creating a system where you can take all these cows that are loitering on your street, right, take them and place them in one farm or something, and all this cow dung and cow urine and other things that you get from it, then weed and other things, right, unnecessary crops and other things that grow along, that can be transported from one part of a city or a state to other part, and this can be used as vermicompost. Then your food waste or this household waste, it can be segregated, and then vermicompost can be made out of it, and this can be distributed to different farmers. So if we create this ecosystem, if all stakeholders, right, household, students, farmers, government, everyone, if everyone comes together, then we can change. Again, it is something associated with our behavior, and this will help us to fight this resilient, this pest as well. It will help us fight global warming. We would be able to protect our small insects and other living beings of our ecosystem. That's everything in today's discussion, dear friends. These are some important news items. We are beaten by the clock. We have discussed many important articles now, so literally have no time. Today is International Yoga Day, so make sure you do a little bit of yoga today. It's going to be healthy. Now, it's up to you, right? But I will reckon you guys to do a little bit, right? I'm not saying that you become pro in it, but just a little bit of yoga, just a little bit of exercise is going to be beneficial for your studies as well and for your overall personality. These are your answers. These are your question. I have got one question MCQ type and the other one is a descriptive one. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to share this lecture. Check out StudyIQ.com for test series and pen drive courses. As I told you, you have to do this thing for me. Please, right, do share this lecture with other people. Tell them about the things that we discuss here. Thank you very much. Enjoy your studies. God bless you all. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.